Hello everyone. It sounds very easy to get Canadian PR through the Rural Community Immigration Program, but it's not like that because every community is different than the other community and there is a set framework and different steps and there is the competition pool and some limitations and future changes happening in the community, so you should be very prepared not only for this year's for but for the incoming 2 years as well, that how to carve out an easy pathway for your Canadian PR because you have to fulfill eligibility criteria, watch out priority NOC code and priority sectors for a particular community. So I'm going to discuss about the North Okanagan, Shuswap, BC, Canada, the roadmap, all these eligibility criteria about this community so that you can figure out that is this community suitable for you or not for the rural community immigration pilot program. So let's discuss. Employer platform is delayed right now but will be active and operational on the July 7th. That's usually the second window for application intake. So on that date, hoping like we will see that this program is fully operational. So what's the roadmap? This is the step number one. Step number one is for the employer, like you have to find a designated employer or a candidate or an employee can ask his employer to get designation or get designated by getting two online trainings. One is the online onboard training about the program and second one is also online training about building a welcoming workspace at the workplace. So after getting the trainings, the employer will have to fill a employer designation application form. After he fills the application form, he will have to submit that application form to the community website, to the community email address given on the community website. If his application is accepted, then he will get an employer designation number. He will have to get that number and he will enroll himself on the employer platform of Rural Community Immigration Pilot Community website. So all these steps have to be taken by the employer. So your employer must be ready to do all these efforts for you. Next thing is about job offer, that a candidate has to get a job offer from a designated employer and provide all documents to employer to apply for community recommendation. But there is an exception that even if an employer hasn't identified a candidate, even then he can get his designation and after a while when he finds a candidate, he can give that job offer to the eligible candidate or eligible employee for his business. Next step is employer will submit application to the community for community recommendation. So the employer will have to submit the recommendation to community that this candidate is suitable for his business and that he will do through the employer portal. For example, the employer portal right now is not active in North Okanagan, but that will be fully operational by the July 7th. So next step comes with the candidate. That candidate will be in competition pool. Like the express entry pool, there will be a competition pool, a candidate pool where all the candidates, they will submit their application and they will have to get the community recommendation certificates from the community. Hopefully they will get that if they fulfill all their eligibility criteria. Step number 5 is candidate will apply for PR only when he receives the community recommendation certificate. Only then he can apply for the PR from the community and then he can apply for the work permit as well. But the best thing is that a recommendation certificate that is valid for the next 6 months. So if somebody gets recommendation certificate doing the job in another area and in the meanwhile he has applied for the community recommendation, he can be waiting in another job and once he gets that recommendation certificate, then he will apply for his PR. So it's a good thing about this program. So let's see now what are the areas covered under this program. This is Armstrong, Ashton Creek, Angelmont, Blind Bay, Salista, Cherryville, Coldstream, Deep Creek, Andrew Bay, Falkland, Grid Road, Lumbee, Salmon Arm, Scotch Creek, Scammers, Silver Creek, Sorrento's, Palamchin, Lacqua, and Vernon. So there may be more. Next is that you have to keep in mind that what are the priority sector. So anybody should look jobs, for example, in the priority sectors of health. Then comes the education, law, social, community, and government service. Then sales and services, trade and transport, manufacturing and utility. This starting with 6 fall under sales and services. So these are the main priority sectors in which anybody can look for the jobs or their NOC code. Then comes the competition pool, that what important factors a candidate has to keep in mind, that any eligible candidate has to score at least 50 points. He must have at least 50 points to qualify. This is just the qualification criteria. So the maximum point anybody can have is only 125, not more than this. So there are basically the 5 criteria. That's why the maximum points in all the eligibility criteria is like, for example, 25 for one eligibility criteria. So the first number is the job offer. Any tier level, any tier category will give you a 10 points for that particular job offer. So that will, this point depend upon the occupation's priority level. If somebody is having a like job in tier 0 or 1, then they can score 25 points or 20 points. And but for the tier categories 4 and 5, there are only 10 points, or if a knock code is not in the priority knock code, even that job will give a candidate 10 points. Next come the work experience. For work experience, even if somebody has only 1 year of work experience, he will get 10 points for that. For education, minimum education required is grade 12, that is Canadian Secondary School. That will give somebody 10 points. But for sure, if higher qualification, that will contribute to a better score for the candidate. Language proficiency, minimum of CLB 4 required, but for tier level 0 and 1, we need CLB 6. For the tier level 2 and 3, we need CLB 5. And for tier 4 and 5, we need CLB only 4. But if you score better in IELTS, you will get more points for your language proficiency. Then most important is intent to live in the community. A candidate has to give a self-declaration that he is interested to live in that community. That will also give 10 points to that candidate and make him eligible for the program. So there are some additional points for this community, like 2 points if that candidate has the ties to the region, such as a family member living there. For example, volunteer experience in the community. If somebody owns a property or rents a property, that will also give 2 extra points to that candidate. Also, if somebody has previous work experience in the community, that will also give him 2 points per year in that community. These are the additional point for a particular community work experience. Then is candidate's spouse has 6 months of work experience if in that community, then it will give that candidate more 3 points to qualify or to get more points to be in the competition pool. Next is what's the employer's eligibility. That is also very important. The employer must be managing the business in the community for at least 2 years, and he must have completed the 2 online trainings, that is onboard and building welcoming workspace and operating in one of the 5 priority sectors, and they must give a full-time indeterminate non-seasonal job offer. They must need to hire the worker, they must be interested to support the worker, and he must comply with the wage and other community requirements. The minimum wage for the employer to offer to a employee in this community is $22 for this community. So he must be giving this minimum wage at least to the employee. Then what's the eligibility for the candidate? Those are the federal eligibility criteria. For example, Number one is holding a Canadian secondary school. For sure, everybody holds that under the eligibility of this program. At least 1 year of work experience, a candidate needs a full-time job offer, then valid language test results, and stated intention to live in community and must receive a wage in the community in NOC criteria, that is $22, and he score at least 50 points that we have already discussed in the previous slide as well. Now let's see that what are the priority NOC codes. So these are the accounting technician, administrative assistant, general office support workers, accounting and related clerks. But these fall under the business and administration. But these are just the positions that one can opt for. These now codes, if gets a job in the health sector, in education sector, in trade and transport, manufacturing and utilities, sales and services, because of these NOC codes, if his job sector is in these priority sectors, then he is also eligible. He should consider about the priority sectors. Next is priority sectors in health. These are health nurse aides, orderly, and patient service associates, pharmacy technical assistant and pharmacy assistant, social community service workers, early childhood educator and assistants. Next is in sales and services, we have restaurant and food service manager, accommodation service manager, executive housekeepers, hairstylists and barbers. Then comes the trade mechanist and machine and tooling inspectors, welders and related machine operators, plumbers, carpenters, heating, refrigeration and air conditioner mechanics. Then priority NOC codes are then automotive service technician, appliance service repairs, heavy equipment operator, construction trade helpers. Then comes the manufacturing and utility sector. Here is the manufacturing manager, assembler and inspectors of wood products, plastic product assemblers, laborers in wood, pulp and paper processing. So there are 25 priority NOC code that anybody can apply in the North Okanagan Shuswap BC Canada pilot program. So what are the caps or limitations of this program? For fast food limit service eating places, so they are saying that in fast food area they will give only 40 recommendations per year and only 2 recommendations per one employer. One employer can give only 2 recommendations and they will total give at least 40 recommendations in a year. For gasoline station, they will give 20 recommendations only and again 2 recommendations per employee. But the interesting point is that in future, community eligibility may change at the start of each year following a review of program, that some employer may become ineligible, maybe some priority sectors can undergo some change. So any changes to the criteria will again be announced on the community website. But it doesn't mean that employer cannot hire in future as well. The ineligibility means at that year the priority sector if changed. For example, if the business and finance become the main priority sector as compared to health, then they will prefer the employers in that particular sector. It doesn't mean that employer cannot apply in future. But if an employer is interested to hire somebody in the NOC code other than listed in the priority NOC code, they can submit a secondary NOC code request to RCIP team. They can submit a secondary NOC code request. So it will depend on the discretion of community that either they want to give acceptance and they will give recommendation certificate for that particular NOC code or not. And but the employer still they can contact the community if they find that really that employer is needed in that particular area, there is a particular business need in that area for a special NOC code or NOC job position or level, they can still give authorization to the employer to hire and can give recommendation certificate to the candidate. So that's all about this community program. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you will get a broader idea that how this program will work out for everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like my video